But let's just talk about the goodness and the scenarios of what can you do, Dr. Roland, as well as a man yourself, to show your goodness. We want to make people to change the scenario and all those bad scenarios of looking at men in a certain way. If you know what I mean.
We want to encourage positive masculinity.
We're encouraging positivity today to say, these are the things that men can do. And we know certain men, and if you have to talk about the one that you know, or few that you know, or even yourself, because now here I want to ask you, as people who can actually select and say that I know this man, I've heard about this. Oh, my uncle raised me. As you see me here, my parents passed away, and now my uncle's such, such. Because we want to celebrate you, and we want to take out, or we want to
not look at the negatives.
Filter out what people always say about men, like bad. If there's English like that, badness of men.
Well, we know they're bad men. They're bad women as well. I mean, it's just a fact of life.
Yeah, but then let's celebrate men, because the 19 is all about celebrating.
So that's it.
I want people to hear that men are good.
There's a story of a young guy who was in marketing, and he was a very successful young man. Then COVID hit, and he lost his job. And he got through it, he struggled through, and eventually... So now he was trying to hold on to this construct. He was like, I need to have this nice car. He had I won't mention the brand, right? Then what happened during that period is that his girlfriend had a child, and she then dumped the child with him and left, right? Okay. Sort of thing happened. So this guy, I looked at it, he tried to get a job, couldn't get a job. So what did he do? He sold his car, right? And he then started producing fed cook at home. And he would then wake up at 4 a.m, make fed cook, wrap it up and package it and everything, go to the taxi rank with his kid on his back and sell fed cook so that he could provide for his child. Now that's the sort of hero we don't celebrate.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying? There's guys who have had children and their wives have passed away and they've raised their children.
Yeah, I've heard about those a lot.
There's a lot of them. We don't celebrate those, right? And we need to start celebrating those.
Of course, they deserve it.
Yes. Yeah. We really need to celebrate the goodness of men. Men are good. There are good fathers out there. A friend of mine raises his child alone. His wife is dead. So he's a single father taking care of the child. Make sure the child takes part of the money, takes the child to school, feed the child.
That's nice. Yes, we hear that.
That's the virtue of a man. Men are providers. A lot of men go provide.
Very much so, yeah.
They go out there, sweat themselves out to bring money back to the home. Men are obedient. Look at the military. You see a lot of men there. And in the military, it's like order and then direction, and you go. Just understand that men they can follow orders, instructions.
Yes, of course.
They're created in that manner.
Yeah, of course.
Except when our wives tell us.
But sometimes that's a
Go
problem.
Go to the shops and buy, huh?
I can imagine, because sometimes when you say that now, I'm coming to what I know as well, to say when it's bad when it comes to wives, because they want to be the ones giving orders, but it's okay still, as long as eventually they will do the right thing. Because you find men who actually are observant of what's not there in the house. Like, there are men who'd open cupboards themselves to see what's actually missing and all that. What is needed and what should be there and what shouldn't be there, and what should be bought. And then you find a man, after doing that, he gets out of the house to go buy. You get what I mean?
Yes.
So such men must be celebrated, because my husband is one of those men who can just look, and then you just see him with plastics. And I didn't even write a list. So we need to celebrate such people. Although we can say with us, they don't listen much, but there are certain moments where they do it themselves.
You see, I would like to argue that what a woman can do, a man can do it better.
Oh, you can?
Yes. Okay. If it comes to taking care of the children, we're there to take care of the children.
I can't say no to it.
If it comes to...
All right.
If it comes to go buy groceries...
You're telling me as a man, what should I say?
If it comes to go buy groceries, we're there buying groceries. Sometimes we take list and then we buy from our list. If it comes to loving, men are more loving than women. I mean, Women don't have heart these days.
Really? That's a new one.
It's a, it's a,
No, it doesn't mean that if
Well,
we are celebrating you now, you have to
it's a,
say
it's a wound.
I mean, come on. I'm
You sound like a
refusing.
good man.
When it comes to
You know?
love, men love more than women.
Okay, men were created to love. Okay,
Yeah.
let me answer you there and also test. Yes, men were created to love, but we were created to respect.
Okay.
You are right, but I know it's
Yeah.
perspective
Men
of
love your
spirituality.
wives.
But we actually are
Women respect your husband.
nurturers. Remember, we nurture, like we nurture.
Even men nurture.
No. We were born to nature. Let's not go there.
Oh, wow.
Okay, let's not go there.
This is
It's
descending.
okay.
This
We are
is
still here.
descending.
My name is Bongi Gladness. Yes,
Yeah.
we are still here talking about the 19th of November, which is Men's Day and it's international. These men are saying a lot, and I know that there's a lot that needs to be said about them. Of course, I also want to say good things about them today. So let's continue. We're still
Yeah.
continuing. So,
So the
what are you
19th,
saying,
the
Dr.
19th is
Emmanuel?
also about creating awareness about men's mental health.
Oh, means mental health. Okay.
Yeah, it is indicative. We must begin to understand that men are humans
Okay.
and they are vulnerable and they are malleable and they are changeable. So to portray men as that stoic, toxic, macho kind of man, I think we need to begin to deconstruct that construction to
Okay.
allow men to be human.
Okay, but then let's leave that one out for now. Let's talk about men who are also good to their wives. I know that
You want to just take us to
we
wives?
just spoke now that they are
That's a lady.
normally bad to
Yeah.
us. But let's be honest. I've seen people that are loving, like a loving family, loving couple. What about those men? They need to be celebrated. Hello, we're celebrating
Yeah, no,
men.
absolutely.
Let's celebrate even those ones that love their wives, like genuinely love their wives.
You
And
know,
they
I
end up
think
getting disappointed many
No,
times.
let's not get to negativities. Okay. Let's not
very,
get to
Okay,
very
negativities.
yeah.
negative.
Yeah, no, let's not get to negativity. So,
So,
Okay.
I
I mean,
think
we do have them.
I think
Yeah.
part of the problem is that we sold this Hollywood dream of what a relationship looks like,
Okay, yeah, good.
right?
I like that.
And we need to start looking at things realistically. So if you're going to get into a relationship with somebody, you're going to fight.
It's a
That's
constant
life, right?
thing, of
So you
course.
take in one person, another person, you're taking them together in one household, and you're making them work together, and you're making them live together. You're going to get on each other's nerves. I mean, that's a fact, right? And the society today is like Instagram and Facebook and
Yeah.
TikTok, and everything always looks so nice and
Yeah.
beautiful, and we never fight.
There's no realisticness
There's no
around
realism
it. Yeah.
behind that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And we need to get honest and say, look, you're going to get into a relationship. There's going to be arguments, right? And the question is, how do you deal with those arguments?
Of course.
Right? So a positive masculine man
We'll be
is going to
patient.
be patient.
Of course, thank you.
He's not going to respond in anger. He's going to sit down and listen. He's
Wow.
going to rationalize and go through it. And instead of getting angry, he's going to ask questions. So what you mean is,
Yeah.
how can we resolve this? How do we fix this?
Yeah.
It takes work to be in a relationship.
Of course.
Right? I did it the first time for 21 years. I'm in my second one for 8 years now. Right? The first one, that's,
No, with me, I always say the important thing is to understand another being.
yes,
And then also be kind, be polite.
absolutely.
I always emphasize politeness in relationships and marriages.
Can I just
Okay.
interject here?
Okay.
The relationship expert.
We want to talk about realities right now. Realities.
We're all about realities. That's
Realities
what I'm
right
pointing
now.
at. Yeah.
So men are confused
You
when
might
it comes
be,
to
I'm not.
women,
Yeah.
dealing with women. Men are confused because women are confused. Women don't know what they want. No, I'm coming. Please allow me to
Okay.
land. Allow me to land. Now you see that kind, cool, quiet, good guy
Okay.
is taken for granted.
Suddenly, yeah. Okay.
And then that rough guy that would be shouting, that is fighting, is getting loved. What makes a man a good man is that he's standing up for his society, he's standing up for his family, and he's standing up for his relatives. In terms of protecting them, in terms of trying to provide if he's a working class man, because of course some men do not work. But the whole heart that God has given a man is for a man to be there for whoever is around him.
Amen.
And the society cannot function outside men, because men are there to provide leadership, men are there to provide direction, men are there to even bring procreation in terms of, when God said He blessed man and woman, say go procreate.
Okay.
The seed is in the man.
Of
God
course.
has placed the seed in the man. So generations to come is about men reproducing themselves. Women are just receivers to help incubate and bring forth the seed of the man. So the earth in itself, or humanity itself, is designed for the seed of man to continue. So men are significantly important for humanity to
To
continue.
grow, yeah. Okay.
So that's biologically speaking, and I'm speaking socially also of the responsibilities and everything of a man. So if we don't allow men to stay in their place in terms of what maybe nature and biology has allowed them to be, and how socially we've constructed them and positioned them to be in terms of leading families and in terms of leading societies. We're not saying women shouldn't lead societies or women shouldn't lead families, but we're saying that we should support men when they are ready to be able to take up those responsibilities. And where there's the absence of men, fine, women can take up this responsibility. Sometimes that's where you say some women can take responsibilities of women. So also men can take responsibilities of
So
women.
you mean we need to give them their roles?
Yes.
Like
When
men have that right to be looked at or maybe observed into their roles.
Definitely. Every woman enjoys it when a man takes up that role, that responsibilities.
Okay.
Forget the fact that we argue about gender equality and the rest of it. But every woman ever wish that a man would take up that role of leading the family, taking hard decisions for the family, and even taking risk and protective position for the family. Every woman feels that it's natural in a woman to feel that a man should lead the family.
Okay. No, thank you so much, Dr. Emmanuel. You know, what you're saying, it's so true because I know there are men who can fight for the community. Those men who make sure that the community, they get what is rightfully theirs or what is right for them. Because we have men who actually lead us in their communities to make sure there's water, to make sure there's water. And that man alone, as a man, he's not only looking up to, or he's not only looking into taking care of his family alone or protecting only his family. Those are men that needs to be celebrated because you'll find them there in the townships where a man, when he hears that the other house, there's no water, it's just cut off and he doesn't understand how, he would go to the municipality, that man, for that family to say, house number what, this is what's happening, what's going on. Those are men who needs to be celebrated. Hence, we're talking about celebrating men. The men who are not only looking for their families, like looking to take care of only their families or to be looked up to only from their families, they also know that even the community needs to be taken care of. So I like that. And those men need to be celebrated. I think for the 19th, those kind of men, those are men that needs to fit in for the
Yeah.
day.
It's interesting when you look at it socially. I mean, 100 years, 200 years ago, men were the protectors, and it was important because you had the Vikings going around killing people. So men were just naturally the protectors, and women quite happy to stay at home and clean the caves and that sort of stuff, right? But society has changed a lot, and I think men are still trying to find their role in society because the need to be the protector. I get these conflicting stories, right? A lot of people say a woman doesn't feel safe walking alone at night, So there's still that need to be the protector and all that sort of stuff. But other than that, men used to go out do the hunting, used to come home and bring the food and all that sort of stuff. So now, roles have changed a little bit. It's easier to earn money for ladies to go to the office, sit in an air-conditioned office in a nice padded chair and earn the money, right? But we kind of need to just adjust slightly. And I think, in terms of what Matrix Men as an organization believes is that men need to get back to creating and being creative, right? Because we are the builders, we are the designers, we are the artists. Look at the greatest painters, men, greatest sculptors. Many of them are men. There are one or two females in that mix, but yes, So we are creative, and I think we need to kind of evolve as men. That doesn't mean that masculinity is a bad thing. That just means that we find in our place, and we need to just evolve in this modern society where it's easier for women to lead and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And we'll get to that place. We will get to that place.
Yeah,
it's an
because
adjustment. It
and then
takes
again,
time.
because there's also a reason why sometimes men don't look like they are getting into their roles, because now they're starting to rely on women. They don't do what they're supposed to do, or what they have to do as men, what we know them for. So that actually is the one that actually now changing the whole scenario about a man, or the whole perspective of who a man is supposed to be. So men must come back. They need to be providers. They need to be givers. They need to be nurturers and loving as they're supposed to be. We know that as women we are nurturers or nurturers as well. But then men, we knew them as hunters.
Yeah.
Where women will wait and boil some water for whatever chicken or whatever rabbit a man is going to bring, to put it in there so that they can take off whatever on the skin,
Clean it.
clean it up and all that. So
Yeah.
let's go back there. Okay, we know that we're not in those times, but in some way, to getting back into the modest time that we're in. But then do what you got to do as a man. But we are celebrating those that are still doing it. You said Matrix Man is about recreating and being creative in what? I know that it's also about being good men, not only muscular men or masculine men,
Yeah.
but to remember your role as a man.
Yeah.
Am I right or am I right?
I think we should celebrate men that stay at home sometimes to cook,
Yeah, those are good
wash,
men. Yes.
do
I
the
do that.
laundries.
Yeah, those are good men.
Those are men to
We can say
celebrate.
to a woman, rest.
You-
Today it's me who's
Yeah.
gonna cook.
Let me
Those
just
are meant to be
let me do
celebrated.
the laundries. Let me go get the
Exactly.
groceries.
So
Yeah.
great. Thank
These
you.
are men we should celebrate.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
I think we should also celebrate men that are going into the healing sector in terms of male nurses.
Male nurses, yes.
Yeah, male
And they never looked
nurses,
at,
male
yeah.
social
Of
workers.
course.
These are men I think need to be
Yeah.
I think we
celebrated
need a
because
lot more of them.
And we
yeah,
do.
We
Of
do really
course.
need a lot
a
more
Yeah.
lot
male
of men
social
going to
workers,
those
male
places.
nurses, male,
Because that's where other men could go pour out their own their heart in
Of
terms of
course.
releasing trauma and the rest of it. So we also need to celebrate men that are leading the nation. Yeah, those are also meant to be celebrated. It's not easy to lead, to be a political
I'm
figure.
sorry to be like funny, but then also men that are bringing roses at home.
Our men that bring you roses.
Roses.
See, you have to have the feminine aspect, you see?
Of
Yeah,
course.
That's
it's important.
exactly men that allow
I mean, really,
their
that come with chocolates
feminine
and stuff. Yeah, come
feminine
on.
nature to come
Sensitive.
out.
And I think
Those
Sensitive.
are the men we should celebrate
Of
today.
course.
Yeah,
Of
and I
course.
think an important thing to remember here is balance. You know what I mean? If you go into a relationship and you want to sit on your bum and do nothing and command your wife to do things, don't expect that to be a happy marriage. You know what I mean? If you go into this relationship, the woman is your helper. She's there to help you, and you're there to help her, right? We call it servant leadership, right? So if you go into a relationship and you think, well, she must cook for me, she must clean for me, she must do all of this sort of stuff, then you're setting
It's an
yourself up
error.
for you're
It's
just
an
setting yourself
error.
up for failure,
Yeah.
right? I mean, like I said earlier, it's a relationship is hard work. You know, and as men, we have that ability because we are problem solvers. We have the ability to adapt. And I think if we don't have that ability to adapt, to see your issues and your faults, then you need to get help. Because honestly, if you're not prepared to change in order to facilitate this relationship, then it's going to fail. Then don't blame that woman is the problem. It's like I always joke about a guy who said he's been married 5 times and divorced 5 times. He says, "What's wrong with these women?" And I always go like, "Well, the common denominator here is you."
Actually,
So
something is wrong with you.
what is your
Yes.
history?
Because now
And
you also have to look into yourself to say, but why am I failing?
so you have to
But
evolve.
it was a great day. I don't
You
know
have
if
to
you
evolve.
still have something.
Yes,
Okay.
as a hand comment from my side, I still believe we need to really, really give thumbs up to those men that want to switch role with their partners.
Yeah, that's great. I'm
Yeah,
telling
to
you.
say,
Yeah,
okay,
That's great.
I'll be the stay-at-home dad.
yes,
No, that's
You
great.
go work, honey.
you go work. Let me just stay at home for some
Yeah.
time.
Those are men who don't have this traditional mindset of saying,
Yeah,
I'm a man, I'm a
this
man. Yeah, I
cultural
like that. Yeah,
aspect
because
that
cultural
that
aspects
is,
of
you
looking
know,
at things and
yeah.
seeing things.
So
Yeah.
because of the dynamics, the changes
Yeah.
in the
Yeah,
society,
no, thank you
we
so
need
much.
more of that kind of men that will say, okay, let me take the kids to school.
Men who are supporters.
Let me
I feel like
support
those are
us.
supportive men.
Let's
Yeah.
say okay, we've
Yeah.
always said women are helpers. Okay, let's take the role of helpers as men, so that we
Yeah.
begin to understand them, how they feel and how
Of
that space
course.
is.
Yeah.
So when we switch back to our
We have an
space,
understanding.
we have an understanding of
I like that.
what they are
What?
I
going
like
through.
Yeah.
that. And thank you so much. But today was a great day. Literally, I like this topic and how we talking about celebrating men and the fact that Dr. Emmanuel is talking about shifting and changing roles. I like that because normally I would just wonder what is difficult about supporting your wife? What is difficult about saying, oh, what is your project? Asking your wife, what is the project that you're on about to do, right now, currently? Because you find men who don't even know what their wives are doing. They don't
Yeah.
care. They don't care to even ask. They don't care to even follow it up and be sure their wives are excelling on it.
And that's a big deal, because as a man, I also want to give thumbs up to those men that will always ask their partner, what's your dream, what's your vision in the
Yes, my
next five
point.
years
Yeah.
So what do you hope to become? What are you
Hey,
pushing? How do I
amazing.
support you? These are
Amazing.
great men that want to see, that are not scared of allowing their wives
To be
becoming
bigger, to be
famous.
excellent.
Come on,
Yeah.
I
Those
could
are
be,
men we need.
I could be, if there is a first lady, that could be a first gentleman.
You get what I mean?
We should allow women to explore and become great.
But hey, for today, let's just hope that men who'd watch this, who are probably needing to know that it's simple with us women. If you support me, you will get whatever that you think you need from me, because I'm seeing you being on my side and being by my side with whatever I do. It's what we need. It's that simple. As much as I say there's a confusion from men, but you need to know what we want, and you need to also know our love language. But hey, today it was all about celebrating men, and men needs to just understand certain things. But we are celebrating them 19th November. Yes, we are ready to see more of the men who are greater. Please, if you know that you're great, somehow contact us. Get to Matrix Men social media. Check us and see what is it that we do. And also, my name is Bongi Tlatnes, and I'm all about BG's carpet. And us, what we do, we come to your event and we make it meaningful. But then you also have to search me on my socials as well. My name is Bongi Tlatnes. Thank you so much. Today was great. We are celebrating men for the 19th of November. From me, Bongi Tlatnes, it's a goodbye. Thank you.